up everyone, it's me, Steph, aka Alternerd, and welcome back to the Planet of Nerds. In today's episode, I'm doing something completely different. Now, I've been told in recent times that my voice is, interesting. I don't know. So, I thought, well, I do love to read. So, I thought I would read to you. Why the heck not? You get a buttload of my voice as well, and so I'm happy, you're happy, everyone's happy, apart from those that don't like my voice, and to you and your earholes, I don't care. Anyway, moving on. I found a website called websitewithnoname.com. And I just put into the Google search weird short stories. And this came up. And the title itself, How I Got My Armadillo. I haven't read this. I don't know how weird it's going to be. But let's jump onto this adventure together and see where we go. So, how I got my armadillo. I decided I wanted an armadillo. Actually, I've always wanted an armadillo. It's just now I finally decided to do something about it. I visited several pet shops. No armadillos. I went to some animal shelters. No armadillos. I finally went online. There were indeed armadillos, but it appears the Environmental Protection Agency also really likes armadillos. So much so that all the paperwork and other bureaucracy made it impossible to get one. What was an armadillo lover to do? I thought, and then the brilliant idea occurred. I went and bought myself a 3D printer. They seem to be on sale all over the place now. Mine even had voice capability. I took it home. I started reading the directions. Everything was fine until I got to the chapter on raw materials. What raw material does one use to print an armadillo? I looked in the index. Nothing there regarding armadillos. Looks like I was stumped. But then I heard a noise at the window. It was one of the neighbourhood cats. I opened the window and brought him inside. I explained the situation to him. He wanted no part of it. I reminded him that he still had 8 lives left and threw in a bribe that I'd feed him for a week. He thought about it and then agreed. I put the cat in the printer. Stupid cat. I fired up the printer. 1 armadillo, said I. Specifications, please, said the printer. Back to the instruction manual. There it was. Got to get the printing specification stroke patterns for any given item one wishes to print. Back online, to my utter lack of surprise, there were no armadillo schematics to be found. But then I had the insight to narrow my search. I limited it to .gov sites. The NSA popped up. I went there, and there it was. Armadillo Schematic 42. What are they doing with that, I wondered. There was a comment box, but I decided not to ask. Downloaded the specs and departed. Transferred the specs to the printer. The printer made various noises. Time passed. Sure enough, an armadillo began to appear. Let's try that again. Sure enough, an armadillo began to appear. Took about half an hour, but there it was. One complete armadillo. It wasn't moving. It's not moving, I told the printer. Taser it, said the printer. So I did. Apparently the spark of life thing. The armadillo stood up. And that is how I got my armadillo. What the hell did I just read? A lot of armadillo in that. Yeah. Ooh, there's more. Ooh, this one's called Midnight. Oh, let's carry on. Let's see how far this goes. The owl fell out of the tree as the cat walked by. The ensuing result was not pretty. The tombstones glimmered in the cemetery. The phosphorus leached from the ground was finally making itself known. No moon this night, the stars were bright. The distant train whistle foretold of things to come. The tracks began to vibrate as the train drew closer. The tombstones dimmed one by one as the train rounded the last bend. Its light coming into view, the cat continued munching his newfound midnight snack. The train drew to a stop. The conductor emerged. Is this the way to Silverado? Asked the conductor. 20 more miles, said the cat. Thanks, said the conductor. He returned to his train. The train departed. The cat burped. All was as it should be. Let's just do one more, okay? One more for now. Oh my goodness. Oh, the door. Not the room. I did a review on the room. No, the door this time. Oh, we get a picture as well. Sometimes when I open the basement door, there is nothing on the other side. This has been somewhat disconcerting, to say the least. Incidentally, it is interesting to note that the colour of nothingness is black. Makes sense. This has happened to me on several occasions. I finally decided it was time to do something about it. So the next time it happened, I put my hand in. My hand disappeared. The blackness of nothingness was all there was. I pulled my arm back. My hand was still there. Thank goodness for that. It was a stupid thing to do. The blackness remained. I stood there and mulled things over for a while. I stepped through. I was in that kind of mood. I was enveloped in blackness. I also didn't seem to be standing on anything anymore. I then somehow started to feel motion. At first it was barely detectable, but then it became more so. I could not figure out how I knew this. Motion is relative, and I could not see or feel anything. Yet I knew I was moving. And then the blackness began to fade. Somehow I was no longer limited by the visible spectrum. I could see it all, from gamma rays to radio waves. I even saw the interplay of gravity. I never knew that gravity rippled. Me neither. All of this made perfect sense. Since I didn't seem to have eyes or the rest of my body anymore, I truly seemed to have become one with all, no longer hampered by the filtering of perceiving through senses. Then, as far as time and space were concerned, reality left and relativity arrived. I could now perceive at whatever time and spatial sense I wished to perceive. I made solar systems spin like atoms, backwards and forwards. I turned molecules into picturesque tinker toy sets. I wandered through the static maze of an exploding star. There seemed to be no limits to what I could do. So, I began to ponder. I then began to search. I explored every meteor, comet, asteroid, moon, planet, sun, solar system, and galaxy. I explored every molecule, atom, electron, boson, quark, lepton, and stranglet. I explored every universe. I explored every dimension. I did not know what I was looking for, but that didn't matter. I knew I would recognize it when I saw it. And then I saw it. It was small, round, and shiny. I reached for it. I was home again. And that's it. I think I'm going to take a cue from this story and go downstairs into my dark, dingy basement, kick out my buffalo, and see if I get that kind of experience where I'm floating amongst the stars and the planets and the atoms and the molecules and the quarks and everything else in between. Because I want that experience. That sounds so freaking awesome. If you like this and you do want to see more, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. We are onto the road of 500 subscribers before New Year's, so help a channel out. That'd be awesome. It's all $3.99. And until the next time, you guys, laters.